We learned last couple of Mondays. This is actually the 10th class in the series. In the last class, we were learning the Mishnah, Masechta Makis, the son of Akasha says, Hashem wanted to give the Jewish people merit, and therefore gave them a lot of mitzvahs. And we were examining last time, what's the meaning of the words, a lot of mitzvahs? What makes mitzvahs a lot? And what we discovered was that we weren't talking about a lot in quantity, but a lot in quality. The Gemara says there, Masechta Makis, that every mitzvah corresponds to one limb of the body. And the Zohar says that the mitzvahs are called the limbs of the king, limbs of Hashem, so to speak. And each mitzvah has a particular thing it's supposed to convey of Hashem's light, and a particular message is supposed to affect us with. So the question we asked was, isn't the theme of all mitzvahs to do the will of Hashem? Isn't all the mitzvahs about what Hashem wants us to do? Why is there this ribui? Why is there this complexity in mitzvahs? And the Rechaim Kasher answers, the reason for this is because Hashem wanted to give the Jewish people a schus, a merit. The Hebrew word for merit also means refinement. And if we were to keep mitzvahs just because Hashem said so only, without being conscious of what the specific...
Sorry, which one is it?
Which one?
I'm looking at the 630. Is that where?
No, there's no text. There's no text.
Oh, no text. Got it. I wonder I can find it.
If we were to keep mitzvahs because Hashem said so only, so we would accomplish our devotion to Hashem will be expressed. We feel more devotion to Hashem. We're doing them because Hashem said so. We'd be ignoring our thoughts, ignoring our feelings, ignoring ourselves. Hashem said so. So there's more of a sense of bittul, more of a sense of abnegation of self, which is a positive thing. Hashem wants the Jew to have a kabul, somach shamayim, to accept the yoke of heaven, to serve Him. So there is an advantage in doing mitzvahs just because Hashem said so. But if you're ignoring your thoughts and feelings and desire, then your thoughts and feelings and desires remain as they were before. The Gemara says, the Torah says, the person is born like a wild donkey. So the donkey-like mind and heart and desires are going to be unaffected if our only relationship to the service of Hashem is just accepting the yoke of Hashem. So there's an advantage in the bittul arena. There's advantage in the abnegation. There's advantage in accepting the yoke of Hashem vis-a-vis our devotion to Hashem. But in regards to our own selves, our own persona, that would be unaffected. And that's why Hashem gave a different kind of content in every mitzvah, because so Hashem wanted to purify the Jewish people. With each mitzvah changing something in us, each mitzvah elevating something in us, each mitzvah leaving us different than where we were before, that we're more refined and purified. And to understand this a little sharper, let's examine what the Rambam says in Shmoyne Prakim. The Rambam wrote in the 8th chapter Introduction to Ethics of Our Fathers. In chapter 6, the Rambam dissects a teaching in Teres Kohanim. In Teres Kohanim it says, a person should not say, I don't want to eat milk and meat. Rather, he should say, I want to eat milk and meat, but what can I do? My Father in heaven decreed upon me that I can't eat milk and meat. You're supposed to say, I want to eat milk and meat, and the only reason I'm not eating milk and meat is because Hashem said so.
Oh, I have a hard time saying I want to eat chazir. Even though it's true.
You're not so sincere when you say you want to eat it. I got it. My grandfather, before going over Shalom, he hated lakshan. He hated noodles. He says noodles are so goyish. It's a goyish food. He couldn't eat it. It's too goyish. Anyways, so yeah, certain foods are very goyish. But that's the question though. It says in Mishlei, it says nefesh harasha ivsara, the soul of the wicked man desires evil. So the Rambam asks, it says if you desire evil, you're wicked. So why is it that the Torah's Kohanim isn't commanding us to say we want to eat basar v'chalov, we want to eat milk and meat, when in Proverbs it says if you want to do something bad, that means you're bad. The soul of the wicked desires evil. Are you supposed to desire evil, as it says in Torah's Kohanim, or are you supposed to abhor evil, like it says in Proverbs? The soul of the wicked desires evil. So to answer this question, the Rambam says there are two kinds of evil. There are things which are evil because Hashem says in the Torah that they're evil, and then there's things which are evil intrinsically, not because of Hashem said so in the Torah. So that's what Rambam answers. Rambam says if we're talking about milk and meat or shatnez, which logically aren't bad things, so for those things Rambam says you're supposed to say I want to eat them, I want to wear shatnez, I want to eat milk and meat. And why am I not eating milk and meat? Why am I not dressing myself in shatnez? Because of B'Shor Shemaim Gozlan, because my Father in heaven decreed that upon me. That's for things that that are only bad because it says so in Torah.
A personal example is, those bacon strips, fake bacon, we call them bacon. I can't eat those.
You eat them, huh?
It represents eating, and that's not because it's disgusting. It still tastes very good.
But I get it. It's too guys.
That would be, yeah.
All right. So.
But you could eat fried pastrami. That's delicious.
Okay. So in regards to meat and milk, in regards to wing shatnez, that's not something which is logically bad. There, we're supposed to say we want to, but Hashem says in Torah we can't. However, in regards to stealing, in regards to murdering, you're not supposed to say I want to murder, I want to steal. If someone says they want to murder, there's something not okay with that person. If someone says they want to steal, there's something wrong with that person. There's an issue. So there, the Rambam says you're not supposed to say I want to and I can't. Hashem said so. There, you're supposed to say I don't want to murder. I don't want to steal. That's in regards to things which logic dictates that aren't good. There, the Torah said the Rambam says you're supposed to say I don't want to. I don't want to kill. I don't want to steal. So what the Rambam is saying is that there are two kinds of ways of holding ourselves back from evil. There's a way of holding ourselves back from evil because our mind says it's bad, and there's holding ourselves back from evil, from wrongdoing, because Hashem says so. And the Rambam says, when should you use your devotion to Hashem to get you to do the right thing? When it's something which is naturally okay. And Hashem said so, so then use your devotion to Hashem to get you to stop. And when it comes to something which is naturally abhorrent, then you don't need to use it. You shouldn't say, you shouldn't do this because Hashem said so, you should do this because you say so. That's what the Rambam says, it seems. But this seems to contradict the fundamentals of Judaism, the fundamentals of our understanding of the oneness of Hashem. Hashem is one, and especially Chassidus explains the concept of there's nothing besides Hashem. So, if all there is Hashem, then the definition of good and evil is only by His definition. And saying that you don't want to murder, don't want to steal because Hashem said so seems to be a virtue. Not only does it seem to be a virtue, it actually it seems very clear in the Torah. There are three kinds of mitzvahs, right? There's the mitzvahs which are super rational chukim. There are mitzvahs which can be explained a little bit, mitzvahs of edus, like the mitzvahs that Hashem tells us to do, to testify to certain things that Hashem has done, to keep Shabbos, to testify how Hashem rested on the seventh day, to put up a sukkah, to testify how Hashem has protected us with the clouds of glory. And then there are mitzvahs which are completely logical and rational, that non-Jewish courts have similar rulings to Jewish courts. So the Torah portion of Mishpatim begins with, these are the mitzvahs which you shall place before them, and the actual text is not these are, it's and these are the mitzvahs which you shall place before them. What is the Torah saying? Placing before them refers to going to a Jewish court. Although these mitzvahs are logical mitzvahs, and therefore Gentiles in their courts may have similar rulings to Jewish courts, and they do. And there may be a specific issue that you have with someone else, and you know that the Court of California will give you the same ruling as a best in the Jewish court. So you might say, okay, so I'll go to the Los Angeles court. Why should I go to the Bezdin? So Hashem says, these are the laws, these laws which are logical and rational, you shall place them, before the Jewish courts and not before the Gentile courts. To the extent that the Talmud says if someone goes to a Gentile court, is considered someone who's being blasphemous, someone who's just cursing God's name. And why? So that's what the letter Vav is at the beginning of that Torah portion. And these are the laws. What's the word and? The word and means that these laws are connected to the Torah portion before Mishpat. Before the Torah portion of Mishpatim, we have Parshas Yisrael, which is the Torah portion about the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. So Rashi says, what's the word and? And these are the laws. Although we're about to discuss laws which are rational and logical, Rashi says you should know these are also from the place that the rest of the Torah was given. They're also coming from Mount Sinai. They're not just logical, they're not only rational, rather they come from the same place that Hashem gave us the rest of the Torah. And therefore you cannot go to a Gentile court, because a Gentile court, they're giving rulings based upon human logic. But you as a Jew, you can't go according to logic. All of your affairs have to be conducted and governed by what it says in Mount Sinai. Not only the laws which are super rational, not only the laws which can be explained a little bit, like Shabbos and Shabbos and Sukkah, which testify the things that Hashem has done, but even mitzvahs which are completely logical and rational. That Gentile courts have exactly the same rulings as Jewish courts. You shouldn't do them because your mind says so. You should do so because it says so in the Torah. So how does this fit with what the Rambam says? Parshas Mishpatim is saying these laws come from Mount Sinai. Don't do them because it makes sense to you. Do them because they come from Mount Sinai. Ve'ela, they come from Mount Sinai too. But Maimonides says, Nefesh harasha ifsara. Maimonides says you should not do these mitzvahs because Hashem said so. You should do you should do them because you say so. If you're abstaining from stealing, which is a logical mitzvah, because it says so in the Torah, and you yourself want to steal, then you are a wicked person. Because it says in the Torah, the soul of the wicked desires evil. So are you supposed to observe the mitzvahs which are rational and logical because Hashem says so in the Torah? Or are you supposed to do those mitzvahs because you yourself say so, because it's logical to you? The Rambam seems to be saying you're supposed to do them because it's logical to you. And if you don't feel it's logical to you, something wrong with you, then you're wicked. But Rashi and the Talmud say, and these are the laws. These laws are supposed to be kept because it comes from Mount Sinai, not because they're logical. So which one is it? No, what's the answer? The answer is going to be, of course, both. Okay, what does that mean? What it means like this. Chassidus says, indeed, you have to keep all mitzvahs because Hashem said so. That's true. However, the question is, what is Hashem saying? What is Hashem telling you to do? Every mitzvah should be done because Hashem said so. But what exactly is Hashem telling you to do? There are two kinds of mitzvahs. There are mitzvahs which are super rational, and there are mitzvahs which are logical. In the mitzvahs which are super rational, Hashem is telling you that I want you to do them because I said so. As the word choik comes from the word law, rule. I made a law. You should do these laws because I said so. B'chukosai, as we were learning last week, these are my laws. Do them because I made these laws. That's why you should do them. Those mitzvahs are super rational. But the mitzvahs which are logical, Hashem wants that we should say that I do not want to steal, that I do not want to kill. Hashem is telling me that I should say that. We're doing everything because Hashem said so. But what is Hashem telling us to do? For the mitzvah of basar v'chala, for the mitzvah of not eating milk and meat, for the mitzvah of wearing shatnez, those are mitzvahs that are super rational. For those mitzvahs, Hashem wants us to say, I would like to wear shatnez, I would like to eat milk and meat, but I can't because Hashem said so. And those mitzvahs, we should do them only because Hashem says so, and it shouldn't be because we say so. But the mitzvahs that are logical, Hashem is telling us, I want this to be something that you yourself are saying on your own. I want you to say, I don't want to steal. I'm asking you not to steal. But I'm also asking you that you should say, I don't want to steal. This should be something that you absorb and internalize and becomes part of who you are. This should become something that's part of your persona. So it's not that we're disavowing theft because logic says so. We're disavowing theft because Hashem wants us to logically understand how abhorrent it is to steal. We're not honoring our parents because logic says to honor our parents. We're not honoring our parents because Hashem says to honor our parents. But Hashem wants us to honor our parents with our minds, And when our mind appreciates the mitzvah of honoring our parents, and we think about the obligation we have to our parents, how much they've done for us, that cultivates in us a sense of gratitude.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's true. So there's a beautiful explanation as to why Hashem said that the reward for honoring your parents is to have long life. Because one of the greatest challenges with honoring your parents is it takes up so much time. So Hashem says, you think you're losing time. On the contrary, you'll gain time. But it's a famous statement in the Talmud that Hashem doesn't give away all of his keys. There's a key to life. There's a key to resurrection of the dead. There's a key to earning a livelihood. Key for rain. And Hashem doesn't give away all of the keys. Talmud says that Elijah the prophet, Yooel Navi, he was accused by the king Achav of rebelling against the king, and the king Achav says, listen, if your Torah is really true, then we're doing idolatry, and it says in your Torah that there won't be any rain, and there's lots of rain, and Yooel Navi declares that there won't be any more rain. And sure enough, Hashem gave him the key for rain, and the faucets of rain turn off. But later, when Yooel Navi needs to resurrect this boy, Hashem said, okay, I can give you the key to resurrect the dead, but you need to give me back the key for the rain. And so the rain returns, and he resurrects the boy. But the point is that our parents, they touch the key of Hashem for us. They're the ones who held on to God's key and brought us into this world. So the mitzvah of honoring your parents is really a mitzvah of honoring God, because your parents are the one who held the key of God for you. Maybe as it may, the mitzvah of honoring parents is something Hashem wants us not just to do because it says so in the Torah, but He wants us to say, I want to honor my parents. Hashem wants me to say that. And so I'm not honoring my parents merely because Hashem said so. I'm honoring my parents because Hashem wants me to say so. Hashem wants me to understand and to appreciate it. Whereas the Rebbe said that the purpose of knowing the reason for a mitzvah is also their nemen, so that it should permeate you, so that it should take you, so that you should be affected by it. So this explains the reason why Hashem give us so many different kinds of mitzvahs, which correspond to limbs of a person, correspond to, so to speak, limbs of Hashem. Each mitzvah, a different kind of light. Hashem wants us to understand and appreciate what each mitzvah is, and thereby to change the way we feel, and thereby to change our behavior. The mitzvah is meant to cultivate inside us this change. how do you know which mitzvahs are ones that you're supposed to try to internalize and which mitzvahs you're supposed to do merely because Hashem said so? So there are some mitzvahs which it says says reasons in the Torah. The Torah says do these mitzvahs because. So obviously those mitzvahs Hashem wants us also to know why and to feel the why and to absorb the why and to internalize the why. And even those mitzvahs which doesn't say in the Torah, but the fact that the human logic dictates that these mitzvahs are logical, those are also mitzvahs Hashem wants us to internalize. But those mitzvahs which are super rational, those mitzvahs we're meant to do only because Hashem says so in the Torah, not because we say so. And that's what the Torah's canon means. And the Torah's canon picks specific examples. A person should not say, I want to wear shatnez. Person should not say, I do not want to wear shatnez. He should say, I want to wear shatnez. Because shatnez is not humanly logical. It's not logical. Therefore, you should say, I'm only doing this because Hashem said so. But in regards to stealing, in regards to killing, Hashem doesn't want us to say, I want to kill, I want to steal. Hashem wants us to say, I do not want to steal, I do not want to kill. I appreciate why I shouldn't do that. That's the basic idea I wanted to share today. Any questions or comments? Reb Zed, you got up on a Monday morning without any questions. Monday morning itself should be the biggest question. Why Hashem create Mondays?
So many questions.
No, anybody? Okay, we'll stop now. Yeah, you have a question?
No, it's just
Okay.
an example of one of the laws, the difference between the Gentile courts and the Jewish courts
Yeah.
is divorce. Because in the Gentile court, overwhelmingly, the children go to the wife. And in Jewish courts, they go to the father or the husband, right? That would be a major, major conflict if we were to hold all divorce.
I'm not so familiar. I need to look more into that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day, David. Great day, Rebel. Great.